Hey everybody, Star here. How is it going today? We've got some Super House of Dead Ninjas, hard difficulty, starting at the top of the tower, going all the way to the bottom of the tower, defeating the final boss, and being successful in doing so, trying to do it as quickly as I possibly can. This is a post-commentary. I am not talking live right now, playing the game at the same time that I'm talking, because I wanted a little bit of concentration to run through and actually be able to defeat my foes. You can still hear my key clicks, because I'm just kind of an idiot, and I was recording this without talking. My mic was on, you can hear the key clicks, and I was even thinking to myself, how do I stop this from having my key clicks show up in the video? I don't know. I couldn't figure it out the whole time I was playing. I finally stopped, and I was like, just, you turn your mic off, you idiot. You don't need that on if you're not talking, so we still have the key clicks there. If you like that, yeah, sure, it's there. Enjoy it. This is still pretty much the top of the tower. I am starting with the main weapon I'm using is the lightsaber. It's the best weapon in the game, definitely. You get it for defeating the game on hard, essentially. And when you defeat the game finally like that, the game pretty much just decides to say, hey, you know what? You beat the game. Congratulations. Now you can have the coolest, freaking, most best, awesome item in the game. It's a kind of game that does that sort of thing. It gives you rewards for the amount of times you died. You understand? So, of course, it's going to give you an amazing reward for beating the game. What the lightsaber does is it is basically the katana, the sword that you get. It's the same thing. I mean, it has the same attack animation. The main difference, well, there's two differences. The less big deal is the fact that it is a one-hit kill on everything, except for bosses, of course. That would be kind of silly. This boss is still incredibly easy without being able to one-shot kill it. You just jump over it, throw your ranged attacks, have it go die, and it's dead. I still don't believe I've taken damage at this point. But the lightsaber, the main thing that makes it incredible is when you kill something, they explode. They do not leave remains behind. It's a lightsaber. They're trying to stay historically accurate, you know. It just disintegrates the body, and that's important because when you get to the later difficulties here, when the porcupines are running around, normally you kill a porcupine, it dies, and it leaves spikes behind after it dies. But no, the lightsaber just disintegrates the body. You don't have to worry about it at all. The same thing with the red skeletons who revive after death, and like the totem pole guys with an eye, you just hit them once and they don't leave their body parts around after they die. It's really nice. There's so many things you don't have to worry about because the lightsaber just gets rid of it completely. The katana in the game is one of my favorite items to begin with. I feel like you need a fast attacking, decent ranged weapon. The nunchucks are pretty awesome, but katana's more awesome. I just don't know, I like it. And the fact that this one's a super beefy katana is like, sure, fantastic. And the reason it's so important to have a good melee weapon that you can consistently kill things with quickly is because, for one, well, I'm trying to go through this relatively fast. I'm not, you know, doing any fancy stuff. I'm just running to people, slicing them. That's how I play games. That's what I do. You go in. You understand? But the main thing is you can only build rage meter. That's at the top left of the screen. I'm currently in rage mode. You can only build that by killing things with your melee weapon. If you throw a shuriken, you throw your boomerang, if you throw a bomb, if you use your magic, you do not build rage meter from doing that, which is kind of weird. I wish it would give you just maybe less than it would with a melee kill. A little bit unfortunate. Here's Ox Boss. I hate this guy. Like, I use magic just to make sure that didn't hit me there. He comes down on top of you so randomly sometimes and so quickly it's hard to avoid it. It feels like he just gets like some cheap hits on you. Like, it's really hard to get through this boss without him doing damage to you, so yeah. You can throw shurikens over the statues if you jump a little bit. I take him down fairly easily. I usually take a bit more damage on him. I took one hit, but every boss after they die, they give you a 1-up, so I'm essentially where I was before. But as I was saying about the lightsaber and rage meter, it's important to be able to kill things with your sword quickly. This is the best at doing it. I like how I dodged those spikes there, by the way. That was smooth. Last second I realized, oh, there's spike. Jump. Very happy about that. But then, I don't know, I take a lot of unnecessary damage after this. Like, those dragons that hide under the ground, normally you just crouch underneath the fireballs, but for some reason, I kept just jumping into them in this gameplay. I don't exactly know why I did it, but I did it. So, rage is a big thing about this game. If you can build rage you're good. I mean, nothing can do damage to you while you're in rage mode. Obviously, you're going to want to build that as often as you possibly can. And there's a lot of situations before where I would have, like, thrown a boomerang because it'll kill, like, 5 guys in a row. And I'm like, ah, this is just the easy way to do it. Throw the boomerang and kills all of them. But, oh, that monkey. You don't want to do that. It doesn't, you don't get any benefit from doing it. It's really not that difficult to build up rage as long as you go for the actual melee kills. It's rather nice. I mean, sometimes I still do throw shurikens at things that I'm used to that normally kill me. Like, there's an area where some frogs, I just, like, oh my god, look at this, by the way. I don't know why I wasn't, like, grappling that wall. There's an area where there's, like, a line of frogs on the floor that I just threw shurikens at, because the frogs I hate in this game. They're so small, they jump at you, and I feel like they kill me way more often than they deserve to. So I just take care of them with the shurikens. Why not? Why not? At the end of this game, when you do beat it on hard difficulty, and it gives you 2 choices, which we'll see at the end of this. One choice allows you to go into the basement. There is a basement in this game. I know I compared it to Binding of Isaac in the first video, but it's just one more thing where, I mean, the gameplay has nothing to do with Binding of Isaac, but there's just so many, like, game mechanics that remind me of it, where it's like, oh yeah, you can go to the basement at the end after you beat the final boss. I mean, sure, why not? The basement in this game is, you can only play it on hard difficulty. You could start in it if you want to, but you can only start in it if you're on hard difficulty, and it is very difficult. It's compared to these areas, it's definitely a step up. There's new generated areas that you don't find in these spots with new traps, like these whole new things you need to avoid. It gets really crazy. I'm going to leave me getting to the basement as sort of a bonus at the end of this video, where you can see what it's about a little bit. I'll play it again at a later date, I suppose. But it can be a bit more difficult. In an area like that, rage is really important. When they have, like, all these traps and all these monsters set up in a way that's, like, really, really difficult to avoid them, being invulnerable is about the best thing that can possibly happen to you. I mean, realistically, what else are you going to do? Some of these areas, just to be able to skip them in rage mode is incredible. So, killing things with your sword, important. Even though they give you some, like, really good ranged unlocks as you go through the game, it doesn't really matter. I mean, who cares? You need to be invulnerable. And at the end here, I was a little bit worried. I'm down to 2 hit points. I have to fight the one-armed ninja. He can kind of be a little bit annoying, where sometimes I try to jump over his head at the exact moment that he decides to jump, and that usually can do a bit of damage to me. But I was being extra careful to try and not jump over him and make sure I know what he's doing. He goes down. And now the final boss, even though he has a ton of health, he's really not that difficult. He's pretty predictable, and this is very methodical. He has a ton of health, but you just chill. For some reason, he kept bringing the shield guys out of his vagina, which is inconvenient. They're the most annoying things that he can summon because you can't kill them from the front. You have to pay a little bit more attention while dodging all of the bombs that he throws out. You can do a maximum of 3 damage to his uvula? I don't know. Like, this guy is disgusting. He legitimately has a vagina that summons creatures. He's like dripping out of his mouth, and I don't understand. I just really don't. And the biggest thing you gotta watch out for this dude is when he slams the ground. Sometimes he just decides to, no matter how hard you're trying to dodge it, he decides to slam you. I'm pretty sure relatively soon he does it to me. Like, I run over to this corner. I'm trying to bait him in the middle, where I want him to lay down the gross thing for me to stand on in the middle so I can sword attack. It doesn't really matter, because with shurikens you can get the 3 hits anyway. But I don't know, I was trying to do it. And then I run over to the right, to the left, and, like, sometimes he still tracks you and he'll still, like, slam you for no reason. It's annoying. But it's whatever. I don't really have too much else to say about it. There it is. I don't have too much else to say. I mean, I'm pretty much beating this guy. 2 more hits. Next time I go up, I'm going to be able to kill him. I'm going to leave the basement area as bonus. Not going to talk about it or anything. I use my magic there to make sure I can avoid those bombs and not take any damage to guarantee that I live through this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out, everybody. Catch you next time.